If you are ready to get started in wholesaling real estate and get your first deal in under 2 weeks, get your first deal this month in wholesaling real estate and actually become successful, get successful, and become rich in this business and do everything you possibly would want in your life, wholesaling real estate is the vehicle for that. It is the side hustle, the full-time thing. It is the thing that's going to change everything for you. So what is up, guys? My name is Zach Ginn, and in today's live stream, I want to really just take the entire live and really just talk about how to get started in wholesaling real estate. How do I start? How do I get my first deal? What is wholesaling real estate? There's so many of these questions I know you guys have out here. So many beginners that get started in this business, right? And so what I want to do is just have a recap today of the entire wholesaling process of how to start. And if you're brand new in this business, I think this is a perfect video for you because so many wholesalers, they pick up bad habits from broke wholesaling gurus and all these crazy people. And the honest truth is, if you can know exactly the right steps to take without the bad habits, sometimes you're better off than the people that have been wholesaling for a while, right? And so that's what I want to do today. That's what I want to share with you guys and really help you become the best wholesaler possible. So my name is Zach Ginn. If you don't know who I am, I've done over 1,000 real estate wholesaling deals the past 6 years, and I'm 23 years old. I am planning on hopefully doing 1,000 wholesaling deals this year. I'm committed. That's what I'm working on, and we are on pace for that, so I'm excited for it. But that's kind of what I want to talk about today is, kind of a little bit of my journey, but most importantly, your journey and how you're going to get your first wholesaling real estate deal as soon as possible. So without further ado, let's break it down. Let's get it going and let's share everything. But before we get it going, before I share everything, guys, this is literally a $1,000 webinar or like whatever they do to sell you on it, right? This is it. I can make a lot of money selling courses and doing all these things, but all I do is just get it out to you for free. So before we get into it, do me a favor, guys. Make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell so you don't miss the live streams, and comment below your questions. Love to talk to you and really see the questions you guys have so I can help you become the best wholesaler possible. So let's get into it. Let's share it. And if you are new to the channel, you already know when we start out these live streams, I have an intro. It's exciting. It pumps everybody up. It jacks everyone up to get started in wholesaling real estate. And it lets you know it's wholesaling time. Woo!
Get the fuck out of bed, bitch. Go. Get up, and get the guy go up. Time to wake up, bitch. Get up. Get up. Get up.
Oh, yeah. Let's get it, guys. Everyone's excited. Everyone's dancing in the comments. They're ready to go. So I think everybody's ready. Everyone's excited to get started in this business and really share exactly how you can become successful in wholesaling real estate. And most importantly, everything you need to know. So without further ado, let's get it going. Let's just break this down and really share exactly how to get started in this business. So the first question you're going to have, and I get it, I get asked this all the time. This is a huge question, but what is wholesaling real estate? What is this thing I scream about? Why do I talk about it all the time? What is wholesaling real estate? In all honesty, wholesaling real estate is a very simple process. I think a lot of wholesalers complicate this process. They try to make everything so crazy and stressful, but the honest truth, guys, is this business is all about having conversations with people and getting problems solved. That is basically what I found. Like that is this business. Somebody has a problem, you solve it, you get paid for solving that problem. That's what wholesaling real estate is at a basic point, right? And so if I can explain it to you, I got charts and fancy infographics to kind of help you out with it, obviously, but Honestly, what I could say is in wholesaling real estate, it is the art of finding somebody who wants to sell the property for a discount, putting that property under contract, and selling that contract to a rich landlord or house flipper for a $1, $2, $3,000 profit, right? Now, that's still on the low end, like $2,000, $3,000. Now, there's deals where you can make $5,000, 10 grand, 15, even 100, right? So I would say the average deal in wholesaling real estate is probably between $15,000 to $20,000. My average wholesaling deal is between 30 to 35,000. Used to be 40, but doing more deals, it goes down a little more, right? So I made a lot of money in wholesaling real estate, and a lot of people say, "Oh, he did 1,000 deals." It's not 1,000. It's 1,000 deals as like $35,000 a deal being the average, not 15. And I think that's the thing a lot of people don't understand. So wholesaling real estate, you get really rich. You make a lot of money very quick. And the thing is, wait, oh my gosh, this must be illegal. This must be crazy, right? Like, well, how did I not know about this? The honest truth is, wholesaling real estate is all done through title companies and attorneys. So if it's a title company, there's usually an attorney there signing everything off. Everything's done very legally. Everything's done all above board. And so the cool part about wholesaling real estate is we have something called the Constitution Clause in the United States, which allows us to form contracts and to sell them. And that's what we do in wholesaling real estate. We sell contracts. There is multiple billion-dollar corporations like D.R. Horton and like Pulte Homes that assign contracts all day. Like, let me give you an example of what billion-dollar organizations do. They agree to go buy a nice piece of land for, let's say, $500,000. They don't want that land. They want another piece of land. They'll sell it to another builder for $550,000, and they just assign it and they make a profit. Why can't you do the same thing, right? That's what they do, and it's all legal for them to do, and it's legal for you to do. Corporations and people are the same thing pretty much to a point legally. So that's what wholesaling real estate is. We find people that want to sell the property, and then we sell that contract that we write for it. We don't sell the piece of real estate. We actually sell the contract. And so let me break down an overview of what a 30-day wholesaling deal entails. Now, it seems complicated, and I know I'm going to throw a lot at you if you're a beginner right now, but this is just what a handy-dandy chart of the wholesaling process is. And it's going to sound confusing, but in this video, we're going to break down the entire process. So let's go over the wholesaling process overview. Now, don't get mad at me. Don't think I'm trying to give you all these crazy, stressful things, but let me just share with you a wholesaling process overview, okay? This is what the wholesaling process looks like, okay? If you go to freewholesaling.com, we got a lot of great handy charts. I'm a visual learner, so it helps me learn a lot more doing this, but this is it. So this is it. So this is the basically the wholesaling process overview from day 0 to 30. It takes about 30 days on average for somebody to get a wholesaling real estate deal. So this is how you're going to do it. So really, this is it. So day 1 through 7 is what we call marketing. Marketing is basically the art of finding somebody who wants to sell their piece of real estate. Pretty simple, right? Hey, I want to go sell my house for a discount, right? We find distressed property with our marketing. So I might text somebody, I might call somebody. Pretty simple, right? Days 7 through 14, we're going to do what we call locking up the property, which is basically just writing up an agreement to buy the property. And we take pictures of the house, we look at it. 14 through 18, we just find the buyer to that piece of real estate. And that is going to be that rich landlord or house flipper that's going to buy the piece of real estate, but they're mostly just buying our contract. Boom, works really well. 18 through 24, we actually walk that buyer through so they can actually see the house. Then we give them what we call an assignment of contract, which is basically the piece of paper stating that we're going to sell the contract for a profit. And it just shows how much we make closing day. Title company gets to check the money. We get our check, right? Pretty simple. I know it sounds very confusing for everybody starting out, but what I could tell you is this is the process. And if I could explain it even easier, we find somebody that wants to sell their property. We sign an agreement to buy it. We find somebody that wants to go buy that agreement from us. I'm telling you, there's actually a ton of cash buyers. I didn't think there was as many cash buyers when I started this business, but real estate is a huge industry. We walk them through the house. They like it. They sign that assignment of contract, which is basically selling the contract, and we close and make our money. That's what wholesaling is. If any guru tries to tell you this is a more complicated way, they're just trying to sell you money. I don't want to make any money off of you. I'm not here to sell you anything. This is what the process is. So if you're brand new, this is what it is. I don't care what your broke wholesaling guru says. This is what it is. All right. Don't complicate this. All right. That is what the whole entire wholesaling process is. Don't complicate it. All right, guys and gals. And so the first question we got to ask ourselves, and we're going to kind of go down the line here so we can really understand how to do this the right way. But are you in the right market? I think that's going to be the biggest question for a lot of newbies out here. And I think it's the first thing we have to talk about, right? Are you in a good wholesaling real estate market? Or are you in a bad wholesaling market? If you're watching this, there are good markets and there are bad markets. What I can tell you is there's more good markets than bad markets. There's probably, I'd say 10 to 15 metros that I would consider not the best. And that's pushing it hard. But like, I can add San Francisco and San Jose into one. So I guess you could call it 10. But if you're in the right market, and really, there's only two questions you have to ask yourself if you're in the right market or the wrong market in wholesaling real estate. I have personally found, in my opinion, there's two factors to figure out if you're in a good market or a bad market for wholesaling. I keep it simple. That's what I do. And it's helped me succeed in this business. So you got to look at the two things. It's population and median home price. If your population in your market is above 50,000 for the city you live in, that's good. We like that, right? That is factor number one. Now, if factor number one's good, you're in a good market. Now, if you're in a population below 50,000, it's going to be a little rougher. Hopefully your county has a population of over 100,000. That could make it up. But if it's not one of those two, you live in like, I don't know, Crazyville, Texas with 40 people living in it, and there's not a supermarket or there's not a Walmart like 40 miles away. That's the nearest Walmart. You're probably in trouble. Okay. It's not good. Right. And so what I would say is you probably have to do a virtual market, and we'll break all that stuff down, freewholesaling.com. We have all that stuff there, but you got to make sure you are in the right market. And if you're in the wrong market, you got to be a little careful here. So are you in the right market or not? Make sure you look at the population. So the first question is like, Zach, why do I have to be in the right population? That makes zero sense. Guys, population is just like business. All right. In the business of wholesaling real estate, we are selling contracts. That is what we do. We sell contracts. That is what this business is. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't make this all crazy, but that's what we do. We sell contracts. Same thing like selling ice cream. Think about this. If you think of Houston, Texas gets hot. Okay. It gets unbearable in the summer. All right. Same thing in Florida. Unbearable. Okay. It's insane. Plus you got that humidity from the ocean there too. It's insane. If I was to sell ice cream out of a truck in downtown Houston in the middle of summer, I know there's a lot of customers. All right. It's hot. There's a big demand for ice cream, and there's a lot of people in Houston, right? Now, if I'm in Alaska in December, there's going to be some, but like not a lot. All right. There's no big demand. Now, if I had hot cocoa in Alaska in December in a decent population, I could probably sell it. Now, if I'm in, the Yukon and there's like 4 people living there, I mean, I might be able to sell 4. Like, you got to be careful, right? And so population is a big one. If you're not having a big customer base, it's going to be a little rough. Like if I want to open a Walmart or like a grocery store, if there's 500 people living in the grocery store, it's going to be a little harder, to make money off there. You want at least 2, 4, 5,000 customers, right? And you're only 500. It's going to be rough to have a good grocery store, right? And so you need higher population areas. And that's going to be very key for your success in wholesaling. And so in wholesaling, we need enough sellers to constantly get deals. And so you need a good population. I personally found when the city is over 50,000 people, that's enough deals where you can do it every single month consistently. I want everybody watching this to get to at least 100K a month. And if you have at least 50,000 people in your market, you can easily make at least 100K a year. And so you make 50K a month there. That's the goal for everybody. But even $1 million. But like, let's just make everyone at 6 figures starting out. If you want to make $100,000 a year, you have to have at least 50,000 people in the city. That's just my opinion. But what I can tell you from teaching hundreds of thousands of people wholesaling, that's what's true. That's what the truth is. So if you're in the right market, make sure the population is there. Now, the next part here is the median home price. Are you in a good median home price? Now, you have a big population, but if the average house is selling for $1 million, it's going to be hard because in wholesaling real estate, what we do is we lock up contracts for discounts. And unfortunately, we are human beings. Nobody's perfect. And human beings are very flawed when it comes to psychology. We have a lot of psychological issues. I think everybody here does, right? But the truth is here, when you are looking at the psychological thoughts of people when it comes to negotiations, people are less likely to take a discount the higher the price of something. And that might seem confusing starting out, but let me explain this. So if you are selling, let's say, a $10 t-shirt and somebody asks you for a 20% discount on that t-shirt, that's $2. Fine. $2, fine. Sell it for like you're at a garage sale, right? That happens all the time. If I ask for a 20% discount on your $2 million house, you're going to get like a F you, right? They're going to say, screw that. No way. Okay. $400,000 you want off of this? No. But they're both 20%. Why is one an automatic no and one's just pretty much a good yes? Because when the numbers go up, the percentages stay the same, but the prices change. And so when I have personally found when the piece of real estate is over $400,000, it's really hard to get discounts. And here's the problem. When you buy real estate, so if I buy a piece of real estate, closing costs, reselling it if I'm flipping it, those cost percentages stay the same, but the costs go up. And so I'm going to need big discounts. Like if I'm doing $1 million houses, I need hundreds of thousands of dollars of discounts, where most people aren't willing to do. But if I buy a $100,000 house, I don't need that much. And so I have found over time, with a lot of lowballing sellers, because that's what I like doing, because I make a lot of money doing it, when the property is below $400,000, like on its best day after repairing it, I have a good chance of getting that deal. When it's above that, it's not a good deal. So you want to make sure the median home price, so the average price of real estate of a house in that market, is below $400,000. Now, we're not going after houses worth 400, probably going after houses worth 250 because there's $1 million houses there, and that's kind of the average. That's what we want to do. And so you might be like, Zach, how do I figure that number out? That's crazy. All you got to do is go to Google. So go to google.com and search median home price space city, Houston, Texas. And Zillow will pop up with the median home price is, $250 or something like that, right? How to find population? Same thing, Houston, Texas population, right? And what you have to understand about the right market is they have to both be the same thing. They both have to be the same. So you have to have a population that's good and a median home price that's good together. So what's something that's not a good market? Los Angeles. Los Angeles has the population, but the median home price is too high. Same thing with San Francisco, New York City, Miami, pretty much, Chicago. Like, that's the issue. Now, what if we flip the script where median home price is like $80K, but population's 1,000? That's not a good deal. What's a good deal? Detroit, Michigan, right? Look at Detroit. The average home is like $75,000 in Detroit, and then the population's in the millions. Boom, right? You got to understand, though, to a point, I think everybody understands this if you live in Detroit or Memphis, that there's $1 million houses in Memphis, Tennessee. Beautiful, right? You got Graceland, you got beautiful history, great houses, a lot of great working class neighborhoods that are cheap, but there's very low crime. There's great areas. In wholesaling real estate, the areas that we want to avoid usually are high crime areas, because unfortunately we're selling these to flippers. And as somebody that flips houses, that used to flip houses in high crime areas, the houses get broken into all the time. There's a lot of issues. You don't deal with squatters. It's a lot harder. A lot of those are Section 8 properties. They're a lot more pain in the butt to wholesale, and you make less on high crime areas. And really, if you look at a city, there's probably 4 or 5 hot spots of high crime areas. And honestly, the rest of them, so you just avoid about 5% of a city, and then the other 95% you can wholesale, right? And that's honestly what you can find. And so what you really want to do, the best markets and areas for wholesaling. So this goes back to the next questions, how to find the best areas of wholesaling. Just generally in any city I go to, I want to find the lowest priced houses coinciding with the lowest crime rates. So when prices are low and crime rates are low, those are where the working class people are. And those are the best they're called starter homes sometimes too. They're older houses. They're a little smaller, but these are great pieces of real estate because they're not as renovated. So a lot of house flippers are customers who are buying our contracts like them. They actually make the most money when you rent them out. You get the best return on your money. Those are the best houses to be going after. And how do you figure that out? Honestly, you can do some reverse engineering. Think of where the working class people in the city are, the people that are janitors, people that are mechanics, school teachers, people that are they're not making 1%, like they're not 1%ers, but they work their butts off and they have a nice house in a nice low crime area and they have families, right? Like it's a great place to raise a family too, right? And so those are the best areas I have found. There's usually hot spots where there's a lot of rental properties in that area too. A lot of working class people can't afford a mortgage at the time. It's the truth. And so that's the best ways to find it. Now, I'm being candid with you. This is how I find the best areas. We can go any way around it, but honestly, that's going to be the best way to find it. All right. I think a lot of people get really confused with that, but that's how you do it. So how also do you find the best area zip codes for wholesaling, right? I've personally found there's two really good ways to find wholesaling areas. In my opinion, number one, you just ask cash buyers, like just, hey, Mr. Cash Buyer, where are there good wholesalers, right? So where are their best wholesaling deals or where are the wholesalers at? And they'll tell you, hey, I want to buy in this area. Boom. And then see where wholesalers are doing deals. You can find wholesalers bragging about what addresses they're wholesaling. And then from there, wholesale those areas, right? And so now we know what areas to go after, what makes a good market, what makes a bad market. Let's go to the next part, actually finding these people that want to sell their piece of real estate, right? And so finding the people that want to sell their house for a discount, that's the next question. Like, wait a second, how do I find these people? Because it's confusing why somebody wants to sell their house for a discount. Well, let's get into it. So finding somebody that wants to sell their house at a deep discount comes from actually marketing, like I've said before, where we go and we just reach out to these people. So how do I reach out to somebody? Marketing comes down to really two things, lists and channels. That is it. So let's talk about the first thing, lists. So we got to think of finding somebody that wants to sell their piece of real estate for a big discount. Now, in wholesaling real estate, we have slang. A lot of real estate people have their own like slang that they do. And this one slang word, which you probably hear a lot, and it's a person that wants to sell their house for a deep discount, usually for cash. They're great sellers for wholesaling real estate. These are people, what we call motivated sellers. Motivated sellers are people that want to sell their property for a discount. They are motivated to sell the house. That's pretty much it. And so since they're motivated sellers, we want to go find them and reach out to them. So how do I find a motivated seller, right? This might be shocking to you, but if you go to a list of, say we do Memphis, of a random 50,000 people that are homeowners, I would probably tell you less than probably 0.1% want to sell it for cash or a discount, or they're a motivated seller. That's terrible, Zach. So you're telling me if I have like 1,000 leads, like one of them is going to be a motivated seller? This is unbearable. I can't make any money doing this. Now, yes, it makes crazy. But if I get a list with a motivating factor, the chance of them wanting to be a motivated seller, 10x's. Not doubles, not triples, not quadruples, 10x's the chance. Like I think it was 1,000% more likely to be a motivated seller if they have a motivating factor. What's a motivating factor? A motivating factor is going to be, for example, if somebody passes away and they inherit a property that's not renovated, they're a lot more likely to just want to get rid of the property. They don't want to deal with it. They don't want to own the house. And so how do I find these type of really motivated type of lists? We have to pull a list that has the type of motivation on it. So if somebody passes away, that list is what we call a probate list. And so there are 4 distinct lists that I've honestly found, categories that find really good motivated seller deals. What are they? Number 1, what we call government lists. This is a list you get from your local government that has any motivating factor. Now, these are lists like the code violations, the water shutoff list, the fire damage property list, the credit card debt lien list, the IRS debt lien list, the arrest record list, the tax delinquencies, liens. I can go on and on forever. And you might be like, Zach, whoa, can you break all these lists down? I would love to break down all these lists right now for you. But what I can tell you is I do not have 10 hours to break this all down today. But what I can tell you is I do have a free course. It's called freewholesaling.com. I'm not going to sell you anything. All right. There's no upsells. You can't put your credit card in anywhere on the website. 0% chance of that. What I do at freewholesaling.com is kind of like this live stream I do. I break down the entire wholesaling process from A to Z. It is a huge course. It is over 100,000 people in it. Active students. Not 100,000 signups. 100,000 active people every single month in that website. And what they do is they learn wholesaling. So like I said, let's say code violation list. I have an entire 2-hour breakdown on code violations. What's a code violation? Why should I pull it? And how do I pull it? And me actually going live, actually pulling that list. You also get links to talk to me one-on-one for free, all these things. I want you to know you probably have PTSD from YouTube ads and all these crazy things. I was asking to sell me. He's going to want my money. Not. Let me give my word. All right. I'm not going to charge you for freewholesaling.com. I don't want your money. I don't want any of it. Okay. I just want to teach you wholesaling for free. It helped me become a millionaire. I want you to become a millionaire. That is it. That's my gift to the community. That's it. Freewholesaling.com. I will not sell you anything in that course. I just want to help you out. But so all these lists I mentioned, they are in that course on how you break it down. So I do recommend everybody watching this, go to freewholesaling.com. I'm probably going to say the word freewholesaling.com a lot, but what I can tell you is you can't learn wholesaling in 2 hours. You can't. I can do a 2-hour live right now. You ain't going to learn in 2 hours. It comes from slowly digesting it every single day. And in freewholesaling.com, we do have a 30-day wholesaling challenge where for 30 days, I have about a 30-minute, hour-long lesson, like a class. So day one, you watch the lesson for 30 minutes. Day two, lesson number 2. And then each one just shows you a different part of wholesaling where it's in chronological order. By day 30, you'll know the entire process in and out. That's what it is, right? And so go to freewholesaling.com. You want to learn it. I'm going to mention freewholesaling.com in this video a lot because some of these videos, like government lists, to pull code violation lists, it's about 45 minutes for me to explain it to you. But once you know it, you don't really have to do it. So I did share code violations. So I'll tell you, a code violation is basically a list you get from the government where there's this thing called code enforcement. And they'll go around town driving around looking for ugly houses. And if they find an ugly house with either tall grass, structural damage, mold, mildew on the property, they're going to charge that person until they fix that problem because it is against the code for the city. It is an eyesore to the community. Old people like to call code enforcement to rat out, I guess, them so they could fix the community and they have ugly houses. And so your local code enforcement department probably has on average 300 code violations actively they just added to the list right now of people that have ugly houses. There's a really big chance that that's one of those. There's a big $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 wholesaling deal. So it's definitely good and advantageous that you go and find it. But go to freewholesaling.com to learn how to actually go out here and pull that list. Now, the second one is what we call paid lists. Now, what is a paid list? A paid list is a list that I pay with the software, and they'll find properties that have big motivations that you just can't get from the government. One example of this is like the vacant property list of people that there's nobody living in the house. You can pay for a software and they'll figure that out for you where there's nobody living in the house. Whoa, that's crazy, right? And so nobody lives in the house, but there is an owner that lives outside the house. And if the property's just sitting there abandoned, they probably want to get rid of the property. There's a big motivation for that. And so that's why I love paid lists. There's zombie property lists. There's a lot of really good ones out here. A lot of good motivation, tired landlords. I love this list. I love paid lists like crazy. How do you pull paid lists? I can tell everybody right now, if you want to pull a paid list, just go to listrei.com. That is one of my favorite websites. listrei.com. It's called PropStream. You can try a free trial on how to do it. And there's also one of my other favorite websites. It's called zachdata.com. zachdata.com. They're both competitors, and honestly, I love them both. I can't tell you one's better than the other. I think they're both very, very good. Some has strengths and weaknesses, and some has other strengths and weaknesses. I love them both. So zachdata.com and listrei.com are the two websites I do recommend for getting paid lists. But yeah, they're great places to do it. And you can do a lot of really cool stuff with that, but I'll write that down in another video. But yeah, you can pay for a list on here. I can tell everybody watching this though, if you're starting out in this business and you got no money, don't pay for anything. Okay. Like I'm the free guy. All right. I do recommend paying for marketing because that obviously helps you get a wholesaling deal, but you don't have to, right? Like I started this business with $300. So no. All right. Number 3 here, what we call Zillow for sale by owners. That's another good way to find people that want to sell their property for a discount. These are what we call Zillow for sale by owners. So they're listing their house for sale and they're an owner of the piece of real estate. Sounds pretty easy, right? And as a Zillow for sale by owner, they want to sell the property without a realtor. So there's a good chance it's a wholesaling deal. I love cold calling the Zillow for sale by owners live. It's a great one. I do share at freewholesaling.com how to pull them, talk to them. I love it, right? It's free, doesn't cost anything. Now, number 4, this is kind of a paid one. This is kind of a free one. This is actually one of my personal favorites. And if you go to freewholesaling.com and you get the links and you learn how to talk to me for free, when I hop with you on the one-on-one talks and we have our conversations and you're in a good wholesaling market, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to tell you to drive for dollars and reverse drive for dollars. And a lot of people watching this video right now are like, oh my gosh, here he goes again about driving for dollars and reverse driving for dollars. I'm sorry. I love it. It works so well. So many wholesalers are getting their first deal from it. I cannot recommend it enough because on average, so let's talk about wholesaling, right? Like you're watching me, so you're not learning what the gurus do because the gurus they want your money. They want you to spend $5,000 to learn it. $5,000 for a course. They want you to spend $4,000 on marketing. They want you to drop 10 G's to get started in this business. When honestly, if you want to drive for dollars right now and you learn from me for free, you get that $10,000 worth of things to get your deal, probably for $100, maybe $200, and you'll actually work less, do more deals, and make more money by doing this strategy. But gurus don't ever share about how to do this. You know why? They can't make money off of you. And that's the honest truth. I can't justify selling a $5,000 course on how to get in your car and look for ugly houses. I can't. And that is what driving for dollars is. You go in your car, get behind the wheel, and you look for ugly houses. It's really simple. You know why? Because every guru and their mama tells you to go pull a paid list and text it and spend all this money doing it. And here's the problem. When 4,000 or 5,000 wholesalers in your city try to do that, maybe in your state, do that, they're like sheep with a herd, okay? Yes, I will pull this list and I'll skip trace it. And then you got 30 people in your own market doing that same exact list. What are you going to do when you do that list? You're going to be the 29th guy or gal calling that person or texting that same exact list. Boring, terrible, right? Guys, here's the problem. The truth is out in wholesaling real estate. Wholesaling is amazing. Wholesaling costs no money. It's completely legal. And you could run up $100,000 in your first year without any money. You can be 16 years old, 17, 18. It doesn't care how old you are, what gender you are, how tall you are, how you sound, what accent. It doesn't matter. If you have a hustle, you can make over 6 figures this year in your first year wholesaling, and then eventually up to 7 figures. No degree, no education. We don't care. If you want to help people out, you'll get paid in this business. This is why wholesaling real estate works so dang well. Now, here's the big problem, guys and gals. When it comes to that, a lot of people have learned it. The secret's out about wholesaling. 6 years ago, the secret was still there. It's not there anymore, okay? And so here's the problem. Everyone's doing the same thing. And when everybody's doing the same thing on their marketing, it's like a pond. If everyone's fishing in the same fishing pond, it's a lot of competition. It's going to be harder to catch a fish when everyone's fishing the same thing. They're using the same lure, same thing. This is when driving for dollars goes into place. This is why driving for dollars works. Driving for dollars is old marketing tactic, but it's the best one right now for wholesaling real estate. You know why? Because you can't buy the list. That's right. The gurus don't talk about this method really at all. You know why? Because they can't make money off of you, so they don't talk about it, which means no one really in your market is doing this like crazy. Unless you're in a huge market, and that's obviously a little different. But just get in your car and look for ugly houses. Chances are that ugly house is not on any of the lists, and you can do very well. Now, on top of that, you can do what we call reverse driving for dollars. Now, I am having a decent amount of followers lately, and so there are some people driving for dollars in the market. It used to be a big secret. Now there are some. So let's go the extra leg up. You know what we call reverse driving for dollars. Is basically when you find an ugly house. Usually in driving for dollars, you use dmzac.com, which is basically a software that helps you do it really quick and easy. Just click it, boom, it's on there. They skip trace the list. They find the person's phone number. That's what skip tracing is. And they call them up, right? On top of that, if you want to do reverse driving for dollars, it actually increases your success even more. You just get a sticky note. You can write something really simple like, hey, this is Zach. I had a quick question about your property. Please give me a call back. Slap that on the door, and you'll get a huge response rate on it, over 40, 50%. They call you, so the leads actually come to you. You have a conversation, boom, you reach out and find the motivated sellers. That's it. Like, oh my gosh, what if they call me? What do I say? Hey, are you looking to sell your property? Me and my partner are actually looking for people who are looking to sell the property in the area. This is a good area for us to buy. No, I'm not looking to sell. No big deal. Oh, yeah, maybe I'm looking to sell. Then you have the conversation there, right? Drawing for dollars, reverse drawing for dollars. Highly recommend it. I'm telling you, the gurus do not want you to know about it because they can't make money off of you. And so this really breaks down to the marketing channel. And so this is when we actually start the marketing process, right? And so I think a lot of wholesalers get this one confused too. And I legit don't know why, but I can tell you is we pull the list and we pull the marketing channel. I love fishing. You might see some fishing books here, but like I love fishing. All right. And I always look at fishing and marketing the same way because in fishing, you have two things. You have a rod and you have a reel, right? That's it. You also have a hook on the other line too. So you have the rod and reel, and then you basically have the hook or the bait, right? So I got my fishing rod and reel, and then I got my bait. That's how I catch fish, right? And so what I like to do is I have my rod and reel, and I maybe put a bad bait or a good bait on it, right? And that's how it works. And so I like fishing in the crazy big wild ocean, 1,000-pound fish, crazy stuff, right? Huge marlin, sailfish, love that stuff, right? And so what I can tell you is if you have a really, really bad rod and really good bait, you're going to catch the fish. Like it's going to hook it, but that rod might snap in half and then boom, you don't catch the fish. Sad, right? On the other hand, if you have a really good rod, like a really nice one, but you have like nothing really on the bait, no one's going to go bite it, right? The key here is to have a really good rod and really good bait. And so you can catch the fish, it's attracted to it, to the bait, and the rod's not going to snap in half. That's awesome, right? Here's the big issue, guys and gals. Wholesaling's the same way. The list is the bait, and the marketing channel is the reel. You can't be really good at one and bad at the other. You have to have both of them very decent. I'd rather you be okay at both than have one good and one bad. And so the list is the bait that attracts, and then the channel's going after it with the with the rod and reel. And so what are the best ways? So what's a marketing channel? Marketing channel is basically the vehicle that we use, not literally, but it's the method we use to go let people know in a list that I'm looking to buy properties for cash, and if they're asking if they're looking to sell it. And so what do I do? It's pretty simple. I stick to the basics. There are really three marketing channels I think you guys should really stick to. And honestly, if you want to complicate this, you can. There's a million ways to do it. But honestly, if you're starting out, you want to get started, there's three ways. All right. It is what we call, number one, cold calling. So I basically on my phone. If you guys watch my live stream I did yesterday, I actually went out here and I cold called for an hour and a half. Pretty fun. So I have a list, call them up. Hey, you're looking to sell your property? Pretty simple. Now I have other scripts. I like to say, hey, are you the owner of the property? Are you interested in selling it? We call them up. On top of that, number two, that's as complicated as it should be. Now at Wholesaling.com, we have scripts, what to say. So maybe like, wait, Zach, whoa. Oh, what do I say if they do want to sell their house? What do I do? Oh my gosh, trust me, Wholesaling.com, got it. Now I actually share my script on how to talk to sellers too, because I think that's something that a lot of people have anxiety on. So I will share this in this video too. Just wait a couple minutes. Number two, SMS text blasting. I love SMS text blasting. That's when you go out here and you text sellers on a list if they're looking to sell their house. Pretty simple. And then number three, you just have your reverse drawing for dollars. There's sticky notes because they call you back. Pretty simple, right? There's other methods, right? So it's like, wait, Zach, you got your first deal putting those We Buy Ugly Houses signs. So that I got my first I made my first $100,000 in wholesaling at 17 years old by putting We Buy Ugly Houses signs. They're called what we call bandit signs. You stick them in the ground, it says We Buy Ugly Houses, and it has a sign on it, right? That worked really well 6 years ago. It's not working too well versus 6 years ago, so I don't recommend it for people. I honestly would have made more money cold calling and reverse drawing for dollars, but that's for a different story. If you want to hear my whole wholesaling story, I didn't want to waste 45 minutes talk. I have a full hour where I break down my whole story really quick. 17 years old in high school. My dad did really good in wholesaling. He didn't want to. He didn't really want to do much with me with it, right? So I basically was on my own there. He kind of told me, hey, this is what you should do. Here's some books. And I just got my first deal. Second deal, made 100K. Partnered up with him after I think I made over $250,000, at least 300,000. And then we partnered up together. I helped him scale it up. We own the wholesaling business together. And we have the largest wholesaling business pretty much in the, I would say on the Treasure Coast by far. In all of South Florida, that might be pushing it. I know some guys that are pushing over 10 million in assignment fees there, and we're not that in the South Florida market only. So I can't say that. But overall, I do a lot of virtual wholesaling, all that stuff. But yeah, the whole story is there. Pretty cool. Right. So the thing you have to understand is like, all right, Zach, I can pull a list. I can do this. So the next question is, how do I find people's phone numbers, right? That makes no sense to me. Finding somebody's phone number is what we call skip tracing. And skip tracing is finding somebody's whereabouts. It's a detective term. And really, how do you find somebody's phone number? You can use a website for free, or you can use a website and pay for it, right? Obviously, when you pay for the information, you get a lot better, but you can get it for free. So if anybody wants to go out here and actually find somebody's phone number absolutely for free, and they don't want to pay for it. So let's say you find an ugly house in your area right now. You just want to call them up. A good website that I love, it's called truepeoplesearch.com. Again, let me explain this. Truepeoplesearch.com. That is actually an amazing website. We can find pretty much anyone's phone number. About 60% accurate. Now you can pay for a service like ZachData.com. Actually, ZachData.com is the best skip tracing. ListRia.com, I'd say, is the second best one. And then third best is DMZach.com. But I can tell you, skip tracing is amazing, right? And so use the paid ones if you have the money for it. If not, use TruePeopleSearch.com. The paid one's a lot easier. The free one is a lot more work, but yeah. And so, yeah. All right. Next one here is acquisitions. So yes, so acquisitions is basically the process of actually going out here and finding a contract to lock it up. That is what it is. All right. We go out here and our sole focus, our sole finding, like we are looking at the one goal for acquisitions, that is getting a deal locked up, getting a contract signed. So it's pretty simple. And I don't want to complicate this. Marketing, the only point of marketing is finding somebody who wants to sell the property for cash. Acquisitions is getting that property under contract for the lowest price we can. So I told everyone, I'll tell you, if you have some anxiety talking to sellers, what to say, this is it. So if somebody says, hey, I'm looking to sell my property for cash. Okay, great. Now you're like, wait, what do I say? This is what you say. Step one, there's 3 steps to closing a deal. Number 1, someone wants to sell the property. We think of MCTP. MCTP stands for motivation, condition, time frame, and price. That's what we ask. Hey, Mr. Seller, motivation. Why are you looking to sell the property? C, condition. Hey, Mr. Seller, can you tell me a little bit about the property? T, time frame. Hey, Mr. Seller, when are you looking to sell the house? And then P, price. What price are you looking to sell the property for? That is it. And then from there, you get off the phone, say something like, hey, Mr. Seller, I gotta look at this property with my partner. Is it okay if I can call you back tomorrow and we can see what I can do, maybe see that property or not? Sure, no big deal, right? You get off the phone. You don't close them on the first call. You don't do any of this. I like to go see the properties in person. If I do virtual wholesaling, I can actually go out here and close it over the phone. Whatever way you want to do it, right? Number 2, you get off the phone, right? And so what we're going to do is find our LAO and our MAO. So MAO is short for max allowable offer. There's formulas. It's not that complicated. Basically what MAO is, you just want to figure out what a cash buyer is going to buy it for. And how do you figure that out? You figure out what the property will be worth, all brand spanking new. So if it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, that's 1,000 square feet. We're going to look in that area for the last 6 months of recently sold properties like that, which is, it's like, all right, if you have a Ford F-150, and so I have a Ford F-150, and it was built, it was a 2021, and it's got 30,000 miles on it, let's say, and I want to go sell it now. What is it worth? I'm just going to look at what other ones are selling for right now, 2021 Ford F-150s with 30,000-ish miles, and see the last, 15 sold in the state of Florida. And then I can figure it out pretty quick, right? Same thing for houses. And I show you at Wholesaling.com actually how to do that. It's really not that complicated. And then LAO, we're going to figure out what our least allowable offer is, which is basically what's the lowest we can give of a low ball starting out. Pretty simple, right? Step 2, we call them back and we say, hey, when's a good time for us to meet up? You go meet the person at the property. You basically condition the seller. So conditioning the seller, I don't want to complicate it too much, but you say, hey, Mr. Seller, before I actually go see the property, are you ready to make a yes or no decision on selling it? I don't waste your time or my time. I only go buy the property once. Basically, what that big spiel was is you just ask them, hey, are you ready to make a decision on selling the property right now today? Because when you go give them a lowball offer and they say yes or no, it's pretty simple, but maybe they say maybe. And if they say maybe, that's not good either, because maybe if they give me the maybe, then there's no deal, because it's like, I might want to sell it, I might not. And then you're in limbo and time kills all deals. You do not want to do that. And so you either get a yes or no. That'll actually give you more chances of getting the deal, I promise you. And what we do is what we do, the go for no strategy. And the go for no strategy is when negotiating, we're going to give an offer that we know the seller is going to say no on. Hands down, it's the best strategy. Just give an offer that we know is going to say no. Don't be too offensive, but make sure they're going to say no on it, so we can squeeze the most money out of the deal possible. This is how you make $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 on a wholesaling deal. You want to squeeze the most money out of the deal. Then from there, we can use like a good cop, bad cop. Hey, Mr. Seller, I was talking to my partner, Rick, and he told me he was looking to buy this house for $100,000. Oh my gosh, that's way too low. Hey, I know, Rick's crazy. What works for you? And then you negotiate from there. You lock up the contract, and then from there, that's all the point of acquisitions. We do what we call dispositions. And dispositions is basically a fancy term for us selling a deal. We're disposing of the deal, the contract, for a profit, right? We're selling the wholesaling real estate deal. And so dispositions, we're looking for people to buy our contract for a profit. These are people who we call cash buyers. They want to buy the house for cash. They're going to buy our contract, give us our nice assignment fee. So dispositions is amazing. It's not as complicated as people seem. So how do I find people that want to buy my contract for cash? Now, I'll tell you this. In wholesaling real estate, I didn't think there were a lot of cash buyers. I was like, I could see people that have ugly houses. I get that. But how am I going to find somebody who's going to want to buy a contract? This seems confusing. There's a lot of people buying. There's a lot of cash buyers out there, because real estate is a $1 trillion industry. It's huge. And real estate makes money. Okay. If I buy a piece of real estate, I can rent it out and it can produce passive income. It's amazing. It is one of the largest investment vehicles in the entire world. And in the United States, it is actually the largest investment vehicle if you consider where most people invest their money, because in their mortgages. So they're technically investing in real estate. Now, that's for individual owners. Stock market, you can say corporations, but they all invest in real estate too. So real estate comes with everything, right? The majority of millionaires own real estate, and that's how people do it, right? Real estate's the best. And so for dispositions, you got to understand, we're looking for people who want to buy our contract. People who want to buy your contract in wholesaling real estate, usually 99.5% of the time, they're either going to buy it for two reasons. Number one, to buy the house, maybe renovate it, but they're looking to buy the house and just rent it out. They want to make cash flow. They want to rent it out. They want to be a landlord. That's where half of them are. The other half of them want to buy it, renovate it, and then flip it for a nice profit. Make $40,000, $50,000 on a flip, right? They're the house flippers. That's pretty much the in-between. I'm both of them. I'm a cash buyer too, because I make a lot of money wholesaling and I invest that money into real estate and stuff that makes me money, right? Hey, that's me, right? And so I'll either buy properties and rent them out, or I'll buy properties and flip them. I like to do both of them, right? And so sometimes they're interchangeable, sometimes they're not. It just depends. And so let's talk about the landlord cash buyers, the landlord people for dispositions first. This is what we're going to call the landlord buyers, the people that are looking to buy it and rent it out. These, how you find them is basically just cold call the for rents. If I'm renting a property out, if I cold call people that are listing the property for rent, most likely a landlord or a realtor for the landlord, which we can go and reverse engineer the owner and then call them up, skip trace them, use like listarea.com, zachdata.com. You can find it really easy. I love that stuff, right? So cold call the for rents, Zillow, you can do realtor.com. There's a lot of places, Craigslist, Facebook, just cold call the for rents. Guess what? freewholesaling.com, baby. You can go out here and actually find that list. So it works out pretty well. Number two, you can cold call the cash sales. So cash deals, how we find the flippers. If somebody buys a house for cash, all right, and then they go put the property in the market and then they sell it for a big profit in about a 5-6 month period, there's a 90% chance they're a house flipper. And software like listrei.com will actually find us house flippers, and you can pull that list really easy. I love it. Cold call to cash sales. It's a good one. Number 3, you can cold call title companies. So title companies actually deal with wholesaling transactions. Okay. It's actually crazy, but yeah, lunch there. All right. But you can actually do cold call. You can actually cold call the title company. Now, a title company, they will do the wholesaling transaction for us, the middleman for that, and we'll break that down next couple minutes there. But title companies, you just ask them, hey, we're some good cash buyers that are buying private for cash in the area. And of course, the title company wants you to make money with you closing with them. So they'll give you it. I love title companies. They always provide great cash buyers. And then number 4, you can just go to the local property auctions. I love the local property auctions. I'll tell you this. If you go to a local property auction, there are going to be people bidding on property to buy it cash. And so if they're bidding on one piece of real estate and there's 50 people there, only one person won. And that means 49 people lost on the bidding. They're hungry. They got money and they're looking to auction off and buy properties for cash. They're sad. They didn't win the bid. That's 49 people that are sad that have money ready to go to buy more real estate. Go to the local property auctions. They're there. And then the last part here in wholesaling real estate is what we call the title company. And that was the last one. And really, the title company, I can tell you, that is going to be the middleman. That is going to be the third-party transaction person. And really how title companies work is they are going to be the ones really paying us. And so they are the trusted third-party company, intermediary, if you really want to call it that, that is going to handle the entire wholesaling process for you and the real estate selling process for the seller. And so it gives you a lot of legitimacy too. And so how title companies work with wholesaling is, let's say, for example, let's teach you how to get paid in wholesaling, right? So if I lock up a property, let's say, for example, for $100,000, I bring that contract to the title company. They start the title work. They want to make sure that it's a legitimate owner. They can give title insurance. And really how title insurance works from a fourth grader view, if I'm teaching this to a fourth grader. Basically, when you buy a piece of real estate, you want to make sure it's the actual owner and it's not a fraudulent person. And so title insurance, if they sell to you fraudulently and you pay them $200,000, you have insurance if the title was wrong that you will get your $200,000 back. Because if it's a fraudulent owner, then the real owner can take the property back and you lose out $200,000. For most people, that's all the money they have. You can go lose everything if you do that. So that's why title insurance is very important. But really what you do is they have the contract. So you give them the contract. They start the title work. You assign that contract to the cash buyer. You bring that assignment of contract over to the title company. And that assignment of contract will show something simple like, hey, I'm selling the deal for $120,000, the contract. So Zach gets $20,000 in profit because 120 minus 100 is $20,000. And then at closing, how that works is the cash buyer at closing day will give $120,000 to the title company. Title company will give $100,000, which you agreed with the seller to give him $100K. And then you get a nice $20,000 check. And when you get that check, you're going to be like everybody at freewholesaling.com. All right. So let me show you what the people at freewholesaling.com look like. All right. And at closing day, this is what you look like. Okay. Now, did I tell you freewholesaling.com is the largest wholesaling real estate course in the country? I don't think I lied about that. Right. And so this is freewholesaling.com. So really all you do is put your email password and it'll create your account for you there. Right. But look at all these people. Look at Phil. Look at Phil right here.
All right, so I got a little first chip. I had some rentals done the whole I almost
Phil's a happy camper right here.
About 5 weeks ago. Was
where is it? All right, right here. Look. Phil's a happy camper right there. Look at that check.
In 5 weeks, made a little $20,000 assignment fee. This should have been a $40,000 stack list right there, but found it on foreclosures. But anyway, Rick Ginn, Zach Ginn, you guys are the freaking man.
They did good. Benji made $50K. Does he have his check right there?
I had one question, but I just want to start off by saying thank you guys so much. I just finally closed that deal I've been working on for 5-6 months.
Finally.
Yeah, dude. The probate foreclosure, that took forever. But I just can't thank you guys enough because my whole mindset and perspective.
Where's the check? All right, look at that.
$50,000.
50
Wow.
grand.
Gosh, that's a lot of money.
Woo!
Dude.
That's a $50,000 check right there. Look at it. Like, all right, you know what? I can go on and on forever, but look at these. All right, these are all people on freewholesaling.com. They didn't pay me a dime, absolutely for free. I can go on and on and on forever on this, right? Like, I got a million of them. I'll just keep uploading the checks you guys send to me, but like, I'm telling you, it works. Thousands and thousands of dollars. Freewholesaling.com. So if I did not convince you to sign up for freewholesaling.com, I don't know what else will. All right, I about probably 100 more checks I should upload on that website, but I don't want to scroll it up forever. But guys, if you go to freewholesaling.com, that is where I teach you wholesaling real estate. All right. I got the whole breakdown. I got the 30-day wholesaling challenge, everything like that. Go to freewholesaling.com. This is the time for it. So that is the whole entire wholesaling real estate breakdown. What I can tell you is the people that become successful, people make millions and hundreds of thousands. They go to freewholesaling.com. They learn it. They ask questions on the one-on-ones and they become better wholesalers. Now, the one thing I want to leave everybody watching this to understand is wholesaling real estate seems like a crazy thing, right? You make a lot of money in a short period of time. And a lot of people get really entitled. They feel like they deserve to get a deal. Guys, you don't deserve anything in life. Nothing in life is guaranteed. Life itself isn't guaranteed. But the one thing that is guaranteed is you showing up every day and doing what you need to do to get the results that you want. You don't get what you deserve. You don't get what you want. You get what you deserve. And if you think you deserve to make $100,000 this year, go out here and do the work that matches it. The one mantra I could tell everybody, okay? There's one mantra I could tell you if you want to make money in this business. And this, even for a beginner, I want them to understand this. This is life. This is wholesaling real estate. The one equation I can tell you is what we call action equals results. If you want to get results, you want to get, let's say, look at Benji there, $50,000. If you want to make a $50,000 check, there's no money that's going to stop you. Freewholesaling.com teaches you all that. The only thing to get that result is you're going to have to take action to get that result. So stop looking at the results. Start looking at the action it's going to take to get that result. How do you get that result? Go to freewholesaling.com, start going after it. That is it. So that is my wholesaling real estate breakdown action plan. All there, freewholesaling.com. You probably could have spent $1,000 on a little event for me breaking that down. But yeah, that is it. So let's answer some questions. Let's see how I can help the people out and help you become the best wholesaler you possibly can be. So let's break it down. Let me get some water and help you guys out. So yeah. So Joseph's got a good question here. Seeing that some people take months to close a deal, is it a good idea to do wholesaling full-time in the beginning, or should I have a side job as well? I'll tell you this. I got my first 2 deals wholesaling with a full-time job, basically. Rick got his first, I think, 4 deals, 3 to 4 deals in wholesaling. He made, I think, over 100K before he quit his job. So I'm not the type of guy. There's a lot of gurus out here. A lot of people say, quit your job, burn your boats, and go all into wholesaling. That obviously is not the worst thing in the world to do, right? Like that will obviously help you out in wholesaling, but I'm kind of the guy that's like, if you have kids, like if you have a family that depends on you, don't go crazy risky on this. Wholesale on the side, get a couple deals, and then you can do it full time. I'm the type of guy that'll tell you that. And it's very, very unconventional the way I talk about that, but like, come on. Let's not risk anything right now and add extra stress, because that is going to actually sometimes even make you fail even more. And that's the problem, because if you don't make your first check in 1 month or 2, then you're going to quit wholesaling altogether. But if you're on the side, you can do it on the side for years and then get your first deal, right? That is the point. And so, no, I'm not the type of person to tell you go full. Like, what I could tell you, if you have a 9-to-5 job, you can easily make 100K wholesaling on the side. Guys, like, I hate to tell you this. I sound like an old man saying this, but like back in my day, we it's my grandpa sometimes. Back in my day, we walked 15 miles to school. We had no phones, and there's no power either. And it was the 1700, and I fought in the Revolutionary War too. Like the stories are so exaggerated, right? You know, back in my day, we had to fight England in the War of 1812, and then I went to school. It's just hilarious. But It's obviously a joke, but like, it's how grandpas are, oh yeah, I work so hard. I had to walk 30 miles to school. It's funny. The numbers get exaggerated every single time. But what I could tell you is in wholesaling, I sound like that sometimes because I started 6 years ago. I worked a job working 39 hours a week. They didn't want to pay me full time because I was minimum wage as a bag boy. I did full time high school. I took college classes on top of that. I got my AA degree in high school too. I was the captain of my wrestling team. And then I did cross country also on the off season of wrestling. And so I was working like crazy doing everything. On top of that, I was putting bandit signs out and doing wholesaling deals. Now, did I have to skip a lot of school? Yes. But I do have an eidetic memory. So I did get straight A's in high school while skipping classes. So that's just me. So I am not extraordinary, but like I do have other circumstances, right? Like I was able to take like, I think 30 credits a semester at UF doing it online. They didn't even know I was online just because I can read a book and just know what's in it. And then I can just take the test. But what I can tell you is, yes, I do have an eidetic memory. So I'd only have to like read kind of the material and then not do anything. And then when test comes like a month later, I can just answer it well. That's just a gift I have. And so I was able to do full-time like 4 things and still wholesale a lot on the side, right? It took sacrifice though. I'll tell you this. I spent a lot of lost sleep because I used to get up 4 or 5 a.m., put bandit signs out, and then I would work all day, and then I'd have a wrestling practice at the end, and then do the thing over again, do school. Like it sucked. Okay. Even when it was the days I didn't have school, right? I would get up at 5 a.m., do bandit signs in the morning, talk to sellers, and then go to a wrestling tournament, right? It's insane. But I can tell you, it works. All right. And so, yes, I would probably do it on the side first and see what happens from there. That is just my opinion. All right. So, what I also want to do is I'm going to do some one-on-ones too. I want to talk to the people. And so, if you want to hop on, talk to me one-on-one for free, all you got to do is go to my free real estate wholesaling Facebook group. It's basically a mastermind too. It's called Wholesaling Houses for Real. And how do you do it? You just go here. It is www.facebook.com/groups/wholesaling houses for real. And how do you do that? How do you hop on? So you go here, wholesaling houses for real. What I do over my live streams, I pin it on the top. So 2 hours ago, I did that. You click that. You click the StreamYard link right here, and you can hop on, be on the backstage, and talk to me absolutely for free. And I can talk to you, see how I can help you out, become the best wholesaler you possibly can be. And that is it. So let's talk. Angela, what is up? You're muted. There you go.
There I am. Hi.
How are you doing today?
Pretty good. How about you?
I'm blessed. Every day above ground is an amazing day. How can I help you out?
So for the most part, I've gotten my questions answered. I did have a question about the driving for dollars, just a quick explanation, but someone said, because I've watched all of your videos on your website, and I know that you talk about the reverse driving for dollars, but I didn't see anywhere where you got into detail, but someone said that there's a YouTube video from you and your dad that goes into detail.
Yeah. And so here's the best part. If you have a question, you just talk to me one-on-one and I'll answer it. It's like watching a video, except the person that made the video, talk to him, right? So you have a question on a book, you just talk to the author, right? So, I mean, reverse driving for dollars is pretty simple. What area are you in?
I'm in the Tucson, Arizona market and Boise, Idaho market. One of your other students is in Hidalgo County and was asking, for help. And I'm like, hey, I'll team up with you. So now I have buyers in Hidalgo County. So we're kind of working together. So I guess I'm in Texas market now too.
Where do you live?
Tucson.
Okay. Yeah. I think Tucson's a good market. So
Is
if you're going to, yeah, it's pretty decent. It's not bad.
See,
it's not as bad as
that's where I'm struggling the most. So I have gotten my first deal. It was, I made 10 grand on it and it was in Boise, Idaho. I grew up in Idaho, so I have a lot of connections. I do have the owner of a realtor company. Him and all of his agents weekly send me anywhere between 20 to 40 houses to look at. And that's where I got my first deal. is working through them. So, yay.
Okay, well, first of all, congrats on the $10,000. That's huge, right? Getting that first
Thank
deal is
you.
everything.
Yes.
And so let's start adding that on, right? And so
Yes.
you said your question was on reverse drawing for dollars. Now, I'll tell you, reverse drawing for dollars is the best. So in Tucson, you just write something really simple on the sticky note. Hey, this is Angela. I had a quick question about your property. Please give me a call back. Phone number. Boom. That is it. And so I'll say it one more time very slow. And obviously you can watch this on YouTube and see the replay. But hey, this is Angela. I had a quick question about the property. Please give me a call back. That's it.
Okay.
And that will get like a 40 to 50% response rate. And they're going to call you and they're going to say, what? You're going to be like, wait, what are you going to say? Hey, someone put a postcard, a sticky note on the door. Is this Angela? Yeah, this is Angela. What do you want? Why are you calling me? Right. And then a lot of people get really freaked out over that. And I make it really simple. Hey, Mr. Seller, whatever. What's the property address? 123 Main Avenue, right? Because I don't know where sometimes, because there's multiple cities. Hey, yeah, I actually did put that sticky note on the door. I think we were trying to reach out to you. It seemed like there wasn't a car or something there, but me and my partner, John, Zach, my partner, Angela, we're actually looking to buy properties in that area. And we're just seeing if anybody in the area is looking to sell their house. Why do you put that on my dang door? Hey, we didn't want to door knock on you or bother you. We didn't want to annoy you with a call. And that's just kind of why we put it there. Are you looking to sell your house? No. Okay. Well, if anything changes, let me know. And then eventually you're going to get some good ones there. But the point is, the leads pull in. You don't have to go call or text them. And it's just a lot easier.
So I just started a couple days ago. And I've trying to kind of go off of the video that your dad was talking about with the mailers, except I don't have the money to do that yet. So I'm kind of trying to do my own, but using your guys' verbiage. And so I sent, in the last 2 days, I've sent 19 messages, and I'm pulling the leads, water disconnect leads, the code violation leads, HOA fines, things like that. I'm pulling all those leads on PropStream. And I've texted over, 19, and I put a picture of their house, and here's my verbiage on one of them. Good morning. I want to buy your,
A text message?
Yes.
Okay.
And so I don't.
Okay.
I show a picture of their house, and so here's what I did this morning. I said, "Good morning. I want to buy your house for cash for 280 because I know watching your dad's video with the different levels.
Yeah, it's like an ROS.
I can close quickly, and you will have that money in your pocket within 10 days or less. We are here local in Tucson. What this means for you is, 1, there's no realtors involved, so you save on those fees. 2, we close fast and get cash in your pocket. And then I also have a website, so I put, please check out our website and see others that we've helped. Granted, I only have pictures of one house on there right now because that's all I've helped. But is that's my marketing for right now. I obviously know those aren't true offers. Do you think that's something that will go somewhere?
It's pretty good. We got to tweak some things on it.
Okay.
And so the one thing you have to understand with texting, kind of like calling, it's really selling in general. The more you say, the less you sell. The less you say, the more you sell. And that's very important because I feel like you have to have the motivated seller be bought into what you say. And you're just giving too much. Like you're giving too much, right?
Okay.
Hey, I went by the property. I'm looking to buy it. Are you looking to sell it? Now, 100% of people that don't want to be a motivated seller are just going to say off the bat they don't want to sell it. That's it. And you can't be too eager with these sellers. We're looking to sell it. We're looking to buy in the area. We can see if it's the right fit or not. Being too eager on it. So we do ROS postcards. We do have the full thing on it, but it's not that complicated. So if you look at the ROS postcard we got, it's like, hey, we close cash, no games, no gimmicks, close in as little as 14 days. This is the offer. It's actually really simple. So I like the picture there. Say, hey, I just went by the house. Looks like you weren't home. I had a quick question. Are you looking to sell it? Me and my partner looking to buy a couple properties in the area for cash. Make it simple. Like really simple. Don't even give the offer because that has leverage sometimes. So the ROS, we have to get the response rate. But with the text, just leave it. Less is more.
Okay.
Because there's some curiosity with them, right? Because here's the problem. If you give a little too much, they might not like it. But if you give some indication that it's okay, they might go after it. That's good. I would do that with reverse drawing for dollars too.
Gotcha. And then the ones that I couldn't skip trace, like I couldn't find a phone number, an email, or whatever, I copy and pasted the picture of their house on my letter, and my letter says the exact same thing, and I just mailed those out. So,
Not bad.
Okay.
I think reverse drawing for dollars would probably be your best bet. And you should reverse draw for dollars government leads. I think that's going to be your best bet too. So code violations, tax delinquencies, pre-foreclosures.
I listened to you doing the call with the one gentleman that was trying to get those. And it's no joke. They want to give you a runaround. I've asked for their supervisors because listening to you said, well, ask for the supervisor. And then they'll say, oh, they're not available. I'm like, of course, they're conveniently not available. And they don't call you back. They say they'll take your number and have a supervisor call you back. What do you recommend? Like, how do we get around the gatekeeper that you've tried asking for a supervisor and everything else? What do we do to get around those gatekeepers?
This is easy, Angela. This is a simple one. Either you go get the list or somebody who's hungrier than you is going to get that list.
Right.
So do you want the kid that's 17 years old right now and she literally doesn't know what she wants to do with her life and she needs to get that code violation list to get the edge on you? And she's going to go every single day and she is going to ask who the supervisor is and then call, not go in person and say, when are they going to be available every single day until they get that list? Or are you going to be the person they say no a couple times and you just give up?
Gotcha.
The government agencies betting, because they know they have to give you a list, but they're betting that you're going to give up after three times.
So why do they not want to give the list? Because I did use that line. I said, because they argue with me. They're like, we don't have to give you that list. And I said, well, actually, you're required. It is public record.
But it's extra work for them.
Huh?
It's extra work. They work hard pulling that list and they want to hide it themselves. But because they're a government agency, they are beholden to you. And you are a citizen of that county. Do you pay property tax or do you rent?
Yes.
You pay a lot of money probably, right?
Oh,
If you're
very.
renting, that money is going to taxes. And if you own a house, you pay a lot in taxes. All right. You pay like half a cent every time you get groceries. You spend a lot of money on taxes. You deserve that list. Okay. You deserve that list. Pay enough in taxes. Okay. And so you let the people know you are a private tax-paying citizen doing independent research, and I need this list. Who's your supervisor? John Cena. Okay. John Cena's not available today. I'll be buying Wednesday. If you go 7 days each Monday or Tuesday and they're not available, it looks like John Cena is actually not working, and this is a big problem. Let me actually talk to my representative for the city, and we'll make sure we get John fired because he's not coming into work, and that's a problem. That's not good because then John's going to get fired. Oh, John's going to be available at 4 p.m., right? I get in front of city attorneys. I get in front of everyone. And so I can tell you, they're going to give you the runaround. But here's the thing. Somebody hungry in your market's going to get it. I'd rather you get it than somebody else. The thing that they're being very difficult is actually really good. It's advantageous for you, actually, because if there's 30 wholesalers, 29 of them are going to quit. Be the one that doesn't.
Right.
The fact that they gave you the supervisor means you have their information now. And so that's it. And you use like Chat GPT, create email sequences and follow-up sequences, and then copy and paste it so it's not too much work for you. It's amazing.
Perfect. Yeah. I
Okay.
use I think it's called Trillo, Trillo, to keep track of when I need to follow up.
I love it. And the one thing I can tell you too is you have to be at the point with these lists that you have to be, it's more annoying not to give you the list than it is to give you the list. It's
Right.
annoying for them to give you the list, but it's more annoying you keep calling every single day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get Angela out of my hair. Here's the list.
Well, I had one guy that was very helpful for the water disconnect list. He has no idea how to get it, but he's like, heck yeah. So he gave me another phone number to call. I called that phone number, and then they don't want to help. But he's like, how did you get into doing something like this? And I said, well, I learned it online. There's, you have my phone number and my information. If you want to learn how to do it, I can help you. I'll refer you to where I learned. And so at least he's interested, but I still don't have the list.
Do you know who's in charge of the utility department?
Huh?
Do you know who's in charge of the utility department in Tucson?
The city of Tucson apparently is the gatekeeper for any the public records of the city of Tucson is who is the gatekeeper for anything, period. And I've asked them because I'm able to pull lists online for Boise, Idaho. So I've been working on that, but just struggling to, and I asked, I try to build rapport before even asking for anything. And I'm like, hey, so I'm trying to figure out your website. Where can I go to get all of this information? And they're like, oh, that's a good question. And then the second person that they get me to is like, we're not talking to you. We don't have to give it to you. I'm like, oh, come on.
So there's a lot of people here. On top of this too, you can go here. I just looked at the water report. You got the manager, you got the city manager, you have city councilors. This is the water conservation program manager. Like these are people you can reach out to. It's not just one person. You got to get
Where did you
really
find
creative.
that?
The Tucson 2021 conservation report. I just go on the website and I can find all these people. And I try to see who's in charge of everything. Let me look here. Community relations. Newsletters, career opportunities. Yeah, you find a lot of cool people on here. So yeah, you get some good contact information here. For example, on top of this too, I can go here. Let me see here. So this is Tucson's water also. There right here is.
See, that's the website I was on, but I didn't see any. Oh, okay. Those are just the different. So I spoke with that customer billing to get the disconnect, and they referred me to, where are my notes? Well, I don't want to waste your time, but they referred me to the public something with records.
All right, you're just gonna have to figure out who's in charge and then go email them. That's it.
Gotcha.
And so that's how you pull the best list, and then you can do the code violations. You can do the tax delinquencies, which are probably going to be the property appraiser that's going to take care of that. Start pulling that list, and then reverse drive for dollars them. Add those texts on, and you keep adding the volume. You're going to get some good wholesaling deals.
Gotcha.
All right.
All
Any other
right.
questions?
Well, thank you.
All right.
And
no worries.
I want to tell you and your dad, thank you so much. I am learning this. I've done one deal. I'm working on my next. I started on September 29th of just this last year. So I haven't been doing it for very long, but you and your dad you're helping us more than you'll ever know.
That's awesome. Well, you got the one deal down. Let's go get the first deal in Tucson down and start earning some more money.
Yeah. Awesome.
Right.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Let me know if you got any, if you need any help. Appreciate it.
Awesome.
Awesome. Thanks, Angela. And then next we got Ryan.
What's up, Zach?
Yo, what's up, man? How can I help you out?
Well, really, I just started the whole wholesaling journey, and I've been like, I'm in South Florida actually,
Where?
Broward County.
All right.
So I started driving for dollars 4 or 5 days ago, and I have about like 40 to 50 houses I've put on the list. And
Where?
I put them onto Google Sheets, like you said, and I like organize them. So now I know I just need to I have a place where I can call the owners and everything like that. So now the next step is just for me to call them and try to get the deal and everything. The only thing I'm kind of not iffy about, but I just need more understanding on is knowing like the prices I can like negotiate with on the house.
Yeah. So where in Broward were you driving for dollars?
Plantation and Sunrise area.
Okay. Those are actually Sunrise got some really nice like
Yeah.
older houses from like the 70s.
Yeah,
That's a
exactly.
good area. So yeah, that's a good one. All right. So yeah, I got guys that like drive for dollars in like Lauderhill, and I'm like,
Oh yeah, a lot of
I'm like, why are you gonna drive for dollars there? Of course, you're gonna get like 200 leads in like 5 minutes, but like they're not gonna be any deals. All right, you got their good areas. All right, you know what you're doing. Miramar too is actually sneaky good too.
Miramar. Okay.
Miramar's decent too.
Okay.
But yeah, Deerfield Beach, I actually love those areas.
Okay.
So what's your main question again? Sorry.
My main question is basically knowing the price I can negotiate with the seller. Because I found like a couple of I found this one house. It looked really good. It had like packages. It had packages in front of the door, like no one's been there for a while, and the mailbox was kind of like messed up, crooked and stuff. So I was like,
Yeah.
Okay, someone's probably not there. And I found a couple of houses like that in the Plantation Sunrise area, and I was just wondering. I see that most of the houses they're more along like the 200,000, 300,000 line. So
Yeah.
how would I do that? How would I negotiate to bring that deal down so I could get a good assignment fee?
You got to figure out your LAO and your MAO. That's pretty
Okay.
much it.
So what
So
about
figure out what properties in the area are selling for all brand spanking new, like renovated, nice roof, things like that, which usually those properties need like 30, 40K in repairs at least. Just figure out what the MAO is, use the formula, just guess it to a point. You don't have to get perfect on it.
Okay.
And then figure out, and then times that by 70%. And that should be what your LAO is going to be at 25%.
Okay.
So about take 20, you're in Broward. So let's do 20%. So
Okay.
take 20% off your MAO, and that's what you should offer off the bat.
All right, 10% off my MAO. That's what I should offer.
So if you figure out the property is worth, let's say you think a cash buyer will buy it for 280,
Okay.
offer 225 off the bat. Good
All
cop, bad cop, and then go from there. Pretty
Okay.
simple.
Yeah, because I've really been like working on like the purchase and sale agreement. I've been like writing it down and everything. So I'm
Beautiful.
really just ready to take the next step to call the buyers, the sellers, and then just go from there.
You know, I got a question for you.
What's the question?
Do you do reverse drive for dollars those?
I didn't. I know I need to buy the sticky notes so I can write my name.
You can get 200 at the dollar store. All right, go to Dollar Tree, pick up $2,
Yeah.
and you got all the sticky notes you need. All right,
For sure.
dollar store. That's it.
Yeah.
All right.
Got you.
All right, man. Appreciate it. Keep it up, dude. Let me know if you need help with anything else.
Of course. Thank you.
Oh, awesome. There we go. He's hustling. I love it. I appreciate it. Next we got David.
Yo, what's up, Zach?
Good. How are you doing today, man?
I'm doing good. Finally got you. Yeah, man, this is like my 4th or 5th time around. I finally got I left my job so I can focus full time on real estate. And I don't know if you remember me, but I'm in Miami.
I know you're in
And
Miami.
I
talked to you
found
before.
I'm sorry?
I've talked to you before, man.
Yeah, I know. I'm still going at it, trying my best. I haven't gotten any deals on my own, but, almost 3 years into this, I'm still not giving up. But finally, I'm doing reverse driving for dollars. And I got some callbacks today, which I'm excited about. I guess another thing I'm trying to do is just stay a little bit accountable. But that's what I'm doing right now. And I wanted to hear your thoughts about that. I'm in Miami. I know all these lists are being cold called like crazy. I'm doing reverse driving for dollars. I found the medium home price is around 400K, which is at the top end. But I think for Miami, it's, it seems like a reasonable price. Yeah, and it's just dropping as many as I can. I would love to drop like 100 sticky notes a day until I get a deal.
I like it. I like that strategy.
Yeah, so I'm going after the pre-foreclosures, and then I guess I'll start hitting those lists. But yeah, that's just where I'm at
I
right
would
now.
say pre-foreclosure is going to be your best bet because they have the
Yeah.
most motivation. And if
Okay.
you hit it with speed sticky notes, I think it's going to be your best one.
Gotcha. All right, man. I'm gonna do that. I got one lady calling me back today. She says that she has a reverse mortgage, so I'm assuming that's not something we can deal with. It'll have to be like a cash deal.
I'm going to say no to that one, man. Unfortunately, unless the reverse mortgage is low and there's a lot of equity buildup, which there possibly can. Even it's kind of some reverse mortgages are weird in Florida, so I would have to see what it is, but ask them and see if you can make a deal out of it or not.
So when I ask them, is there any like keywords I'm looking out for, or what? How does that work?
Unfortunately, unless you're going to read the entire mortgage, I just have the title. Look at it. They know that stuff way better than me.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, man. All right. That's basically it. Just wanted to, I guess I'm gonna keep it up. It's a little boring sometimes doing the reverse driving for dollars, but
Boring to you.
dude, oh
Why do you
my
make
God.
it fun, dude?
Yeah, I'm listening to music and this, but I'm going ham. So maybe how many hours? Like I was gonna go from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. But halfway into it, I was like, I'm dying out here.
All right. You got to have fun, man. Listen to music. Make it a blast, dude. I don't know what to tell you, man. Like you have to have fun what you're doing, but like you don't expect it to be like a pony ride,
No,
it's
not
work.
even. Yeah. I know
It's
it's
hard
gonna be
work.
worth it. It's gonna be worth it. So if I
What's
do
the
this
difference between
for
doing
like,
that and laying concrete 9 to 5? They're both not fun,
no, I got you.
right? Like
Yeah, I know. All right. So let's say I'm gonna do this for a month, and if it doesn't work out, then I guess where should I go from there? But I guess I'm gonna stay positive. But damn,
try some virtual, man.
I
Try
tried
JVing some
virtual,
deals.
and I got it was bad. Like I did it in
I didn't
what
tell you
is
to
it?
drive virtual.
No. Like for Fizmos, I was calling Fizmos out of in another state, and it was a little tough, man. Like I wasn't ever able to, and I feel like the deals are slim, no? Like when you do virtual.
David, if I go to Miami right now and I go to South Beach and I say this is what Miami is, and then that's what I'm going to think of it. Miami is just only South Beach, all right?
Right.
And then if I go to Miami and I go to like, I go to a rougher part of town, I'm going to think that's what Miami is, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like you just went to one aspect of virtual wholesaling and then you're using it for the entire thing. So you're doing the wrong thing for virtual.
Well, another reason too, I want to stay local is because I eventually want to be able to buy a property or two, like do the Airbnb thing, and in Miami is just a little bit more exciting than calling a different state.
I mean, do whatever you want, man. Don't feel like you have to be in your own market. I own rentals all over the country, so like, I don't care about physically looking at it and touching it and giving it a kiss every single day. I got managers dealing with it. The check that it produces for me is what I care about.
Gotcha. But if you were to make it happen in Miami, well, it's not a crazy area code. Zip code. It's not super expensive. Reverse driving for dollars. Like if you had to make it happen, is that like the one thing you would recommend to do?
I would do as many pre-foreclosures as possible, and then all the government lists.
Gotcha. All right, my man. Let me do that, and I'll come back in a week or two. Hopefully, I got something for you.
All right, let's see, man.
Exciting news. Appreciate it, Zach.
Appreciate it. Oh, awesome. Love to see it. So, guys, if you have a real estate wholesaling deal, you want to send it over to us, just go to sellmypaper.com. Go to sellmypaper.com. I think we had a slight issue yesterday. We sent out text to everyone that wasn't a good deal. And apparently half of them got the text, half of them didn't. And so we fixed the issue with CallRail. But yeah, so if you didn't get a text from me from a deal you sent yesterday or last week, let me know in the comments and I can help you out. I got a couple of DMs I was working on. I was like, that's kind of weird. But yeah, we fixed that problem. But yeah, so if you got deals, you want to send them over, go to sellmypaper.com. If you want to learn wholesaling real estate for free, just go to freewholesaling.com. All right, go to freewholesaling.com, learn wholesaling for free. And that is it, guys. Your future is in your hands. Your success is in your hands. It all comes down to the work you're willing to put and everything you want to do, guys. Put the work in. Action equals results. And I'm telling everybody watching this right now, you have all the tools right now for you to become the best wholesaler you possibly can. No money's going to affect it. Not how tired you are, how much energy you have, or how excited or you're not. It doesn't matter. It's the work you put in, and it's the action equals results. So go out here, do the work you know you need to do to get the results, and you become rich beyond your wildest dreams. This is Zach Ginn signing out. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. Appreciate it. This is Zach Ginn signing out. Have a blessed one.